Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where when you're watching this stream right now. This is Start a Tech Career 2025, organized by Programmer City, and I am the Destiny Gochibo, your host. Okay, so this is the day five of the event, and we've talked a lot about how you can start a career in tech. Right from the first day, we talked about what tech is all about. Then we have also discussed about various tech fields that you can go into and the things that you need to go into those different fields in tech. Okay, so this is the day five, and today we're going to be looking at the employability of a tech person, okay, or as of a tech expert, okay. So it's not about gaining the skill, okay. It's all about using the skill to make something for yourself as an individual, okay. So this is a career. So when you earn a career, you should be able to make a living out of it, okay. So that is what we're going to talk about today, and we have uh, uh, some of our esteemed guests. We have a guest that will join us later today, a software engineer that have over a decade, over 10 years experience in the field and have worked with different companies. Then also we're going to have an expert and a human resource person, a senior recruiter of a top firm in Nigeria, talk to us about the criteria or the things they actually look at when they are recruiting. Okay. So that when we are learning this tech career, or we have in mind that we are going to learn this career, we should also know how we're going to make use of these different careers that we are actually, going into. Okay. So in the next few minutes, we're going to be introducing our first guest of the evening. So if you are joining us on Facebook now, you can simply use the link I provided on the Facebook Live to join us on YouTube so that you can participate fully. Okay, because if you're on Facebook right now, you cannot hear our guests that will be speaking to us, and we might not be able to attend to your question in case you have any question. Okay, so if you're on Facebook right now, kindly use the link I provided to join us on YouTube. Okay, so in the next few minutes, we're going to be introducing our first guest to talk about the recruitment process generally, then talk about tech in the corporate world. Okay, so stay tuned.
Hello.
Can you hear me, sir?
Hi, Destiny.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Not very loud, but I can hear you.
Okay, that's good.
Let me know when I could proceed.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, good evening once more. So right now we have our first guest of the evening with us here in the studio right now. is the person of Mr. Promise Ambrose, a senior recruiter, human resource manager, and is here to talk more about how we as tech persons or people that are interested in tech, and generally, not just tech, generally how the recruitment process and things that are required during recruitment of somebody that is seeking for a particular job role or a position in a firm. Okay, and also we'll also touch about we'll touch things about freelancing as well. Okay, so Mr. Promise, it's a privilege having you here this evening. Thank you for joining us this evening. We really appreciate your presence here. Can you still hear me? Hello, Mr. Promise, are you there? Okay.
Me or it was a
Can
freeze at some point. There was a
you hear me
freeze at
now?
some point. Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. So you're welcome once more.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Destiny. I don't know if we can proceed now.
Yes, we can actually proceed now. Okay.
All right.
So of
Thank
course,
you.
you already know what the program is all about. Okay.
Yes.
So the program is just for people that are coming into tech. Okay. So that wants to start a career in tech. So we've looked into the tech pitch already, and this is the day five of the program. And since the day one, we'll be talking about tech and different career paths that you can take in tech. So for today, we just want to we just want you as an expert to go into the criteria for us to work as experts, not just in tech, even if it's in other fields, okay, as the expert. So that is where we want you to come in because one thing is acquiring the skill, another thing is using it to make a good living for yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you once again, Destiny. This is an opportunity that I love an opportunity to always, have to relate and talk to people. And thank you very much for the platform you set across board to, reach people and also let us know what it is, right? We need. So I will start by saying that um, tech in general is one good export for Nigeria, aside from even inside Nigeria. But as there has been a bit of a breach, right? I'll say this if I go down into pro of things we expected to talk. And I want it to be very, very interactive. Is anywhere they could also drop questions, we could also treat as fast as possible because it's better for us to understand real life scenarios and not just, saying things in the general. So there's a bit of a breach when it comes to tech. We have a lot of tech guys in Nigeria, but also have few real tech people. And
Okay.
the truth is, yes, if you recall, sometime last year, last 2 years, Money Point had to fly in some people from India to go and build a particular solution for them, right? Why is that? So we have 1,001 aspiring tech people, have people that are in the because there's a lot of tech educational schools, right? Although most of them are just after what they want to tell you and what they want to get. But the truth is, the fact that there's this notion that there's money in tech. A lot of people go in with the notion of I want to come in and make money.
Okay.
Um, I have I have a friend sort of he works in more than six companies. His monthly earnings. I'm starting this because I want us to just deep down to the actual problem of today. His monthly earnings in one of those, the lowest monthly earning he can get in one of those companies that he works more than 4 or 5, if I'm correct. Monthly earnings in one of those companies is um in lesser he can do is maybe 1,500,000. Some are in dollars, right? And he's one person and more people are looking out for him. So there are very few people that actually know what they want and know what they can do than people that just want to come into tech, right? I want to give in. And that's the difference when it comes to the corporate world. A top firm, a top company wants to get those people that will come and build the solutions they want to build and not people to do trials. I'll be very honest with you. Take for instance, I want to recruit. I know it's not right in some cases. I want to recruit even a recruiter, right? Take for instance, I want to recruit a recruiter. I want to recruit a risk person, and I see you. You have 1 year experience, or have 6 months experience, or you're coming in. I see your zeal. I see your ability, your agility, and I also see someone that has laid down risk processes or laid down recruitment processes, and I can give me let me do the job as fast as possible. Who do you think I'm going to go for? I would go for the
Okay.
one that is ready, that has the experience,
Okay.
that has the that have done this over the years rather. So take us back to what we are, why I'm going to this. We've seen a lot of aspiring tech people. I am still an aspiring tech person. Don't mind. I will come to say that I am doing recruitment and I've been doing this internationally, right?
Okay.
But at the count of the year, I found that if I'm not ready to give hours to tech, to give certain things to tech, I might not be able to get to the level I should get to. If I look at tech as let me try 6 months and I can earn $3,000, I might not get to the level I want to get to. I might not get people to pay me $3,000. So I will start with saying, giving an overview on tech in the corporate world. Acceptability, diversity, accessibility, and standing out. Acceptability is in many ways, right? Acceptability is one. Are you willing to come in as an intern? For some, right? Some firms give opportunities for internship programs. Come in, be an intern, come and earn 100,000. Yes, it's not even as up to what they pay a startup person, but they want to know what you can do. They want to know your ability, right? Some pay more. I'm just giving an instance, right?
Yes.
Um, that's one. That's for people that are coming in. But acceptably for others will be experience, right? Experience, the kind of solutions you build beforehand, before now. Take for instance, I would not want to go into a fintech and I've just built an agricultural or just logistics solutions and not have an idea creatively how to build a fintech related solution. A fintech person would most likely go with someone that have built a fintech solution, of managed several products in the fintech solution, right? That's one for acceptability. So acceptability criteria is if you're an upcoming person starting up, right? Are you willing to come and learn? Because the truth is, we learn in schools, but we also have a lot we learn when it comes to actual building products or solutions that are acceptable for people. Right.
Okay.
Second one about is diversity. Tech is not just back end and front end. Tech is not just software engineering. So for in the corporate world, there is QA, there is DevOps, there is high need for people for DevOps. I'll give an example again. There is data science. I give an example. I was one of my project recently was to hire data science guys in Nigeria, and I was saddened that I could not hire someone in Nigeria, right? Because none of them were able to do the certain level of assessment or the certain level of assessment that was set across for them. I had people that are in Nigeria worked in Microsoft as part of the guys. The guy was the one that came closest, had 4.9 over 10. Yes. I had people that worked for several loan firms. I had the head of data science for one of the top lending companies in Nigeria, and I could not get one. And I had to resort to getting someone from India. A data scientist from India. That's the only person who could crack that particular solution or set aside, right? So you get that there's a lot of other places outside of soft data science, outside of software engineering, where tech is needed, and what are needed are people that are ready and are very good at what they do. You have to be a chairman at what you do, right? That's one of the key points. There is, so back to what I was saying. There's QA, there's data science, there's DevOps. We have limited number of people for DevOps. I've worked as a consultant for one firm I'm going to mention at a point, right? They had a request from one top fintech company, and the guy needed a Kubernetes and Docker person, right? Which is pretty much a DevOps solution architect kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
And I was able to get a very good guy in 24 hours. However, before I could get that good guy, I actually looked at more than, or the team that assessed in 20 or 48 hours, assessed more than 12 guys, right? He was a pure DevOps person. So meaning that there's also opportunities for DevOps guys. There's opportunity for software QA guys. There's opportunity for product, but product, I will not totally advise product, but product has become a bit political in a way.
Product. So when you say product, what do you mean by that?
Product manager.
Is it
Product
pre-
managers are the
manager?
guys.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, that's what I want to clarify. Product manager, like same thing as a
Oh,
project manager too,
they are not the
right?
same as project managers. No, project
Sorry,
managers. Okay,
product managers like these people that make research, do designs on set as criteria of a product before you know the product
the
is
design.
get
They are, for technical guys, actually go to the extent of designing the flow of how the product is going to be,
product to look
right?
like. Yeah,
Yes. So, for instance, product management goes across from product design down to market research, product analysis. They go down to also understand the customer or potential market, and then the design flow of the product. So, how product differentiates from project is that product is more qualitative, but project is more quantitative.
okay,
Project is more on the time and how fast you can develop, you can build a particular solution. Project is tailored towards ensuring that that solution you are building meets the needs you are building it for.
cool, okay.
I don't know if I've answered a bit of your question.
Yes, yes. What I was listening to your okay. So yeah, like when you say product managers, as same thing as you mean product designers. Understand?
Part of product management is product design. Yes, the UI UX
Yes,
guys.
US guys, okay. But product manager generally now they do both designing, market research, checking
Exactly.
the acceptability of that product in the market, and then the
Yes.
business analysis cost effectiveness of the product in the market.
Exactly. And also ensuring that the product built is the same as what was initially thought of, to ensure that
Yeah.
the developers does not drift in and start doing things the easy way, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you get what I mean. So that's a bit of what
First,
project managers do. Yes. Right. So that's one side of tech. So another so that's a key around what tech is in the corporate world. Right. The second place I'm going to talk a bit about is qualification and requirements. Right.
because
Um,
that's even what I wanted to ask because based on one of the examples you gave, looking for someone when you were given the task of employing, and you said that you couldn't see anybody
yes.
that meets the standard of what you needed, then you have to
Okay.
go outside the country. Now, that
Okay.
is what came to my mind. Now, what are these criteria? Because, for instance, now some of us now can say, okay, I know how to build softwares. I can
Okay.
deploy softwares. I can, make them work. People can, publish them where people can use them and people manage them. But then now, some of all those people, from what you're saying now, when it comes to working in the corporate world now, they might not still meet certain criteria, even though they can do all these things.
What is expected of them to do? Yes.
So that is what are those criteria now that you look at?
Okay, so I'll classify those criteria in one, and also there's something I also would discuss later. That's called, I call it personal profile. Right.
Okay,
So, so for a tech person, you need to build a personal profile. Your CV, your LinkedIn, your GitHub should give me an idea of the level at which you play at when it comes to tech. That's one. Right. So your CV should be up to date, what you've done. But before you can even get your CV done, there are certain things you need to do. It's still part of what we're going to discuss. That's visual internship programs. There's part freelance programs that help you to build up a portfolio that can be accessible to certain kind of companies. Of course, there are companies that want to take in interns. I mentioned internship as one, right?
so
So if you are a junior developer or an upcoming developer that wants to go into the junior space, right? They say, oh, we want you have must have built something. The truth is, every firm wants to know what you've done. There's place for test skills. Yes, you have the skill, no doubt. There's place for, oh, I have the qualification. You have BS, you have HND, good. But there's also the place for, can you do,
yes, I can
because
hear you now. I hear you
part of
now.
the assessment criteria for tech guys might also mandate that you do what we call a live coding session. Aside from asking you certain questions where they ask you, oh, which language you do, how do you use this language, how do you use this, what are you able to do with this? They'll ask you those questions, but they also expect you to do what we call a live coding session. This is what, as a tech person, you also always challenge yourself going to sites like HackerRank, AlgoExpert, LeetCode to deal with algorithmic kind of solutions. If you're able to build some of those things, or to be able to solve some of those algorithmic questions on those kind of platforms, it further gives you leverage to be able to show your skills when it comes to live coding sessions, right? So to answer your question for the data scientists, yes, they had a good personal profile, they had a good CV, they had a good LinkedIn account. So for me, I was able to bring them on, take them in and say, oh, I want to assess and interview this person. That's criteria number one. But before you could get to the essence where I can be able as a recruiter to say, oh, I want to assess this person, you have to build a better or a good professional profile on your CV, on LinkedIn, on GitHub, on different platforms that help showcase what you do. No, there's nobody that lights a candle and put it under a bowl and expect people to see that it's shining. You have to
Of
be
course.
able to build yourself. That's one. The second thing, after I've been able to see, oh, this person looks like a prospect I want to bring on board. I have to assess if this thing you wrote on your CV, if this thing on your platform, if you are truly what you say you are. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all, right? If you're truly, yes, if you're truly what you say you are, and that's what we call the assessment process. The process will be like if an initial call, most likely an initial call with the recruiter. What the recruiter will ask you is basically your stack. And when I say your stack, it means your languages you do. And if I should deviate a bit and also mention some key languages, especially in the fintech space, because I'm in the fintech space, I'll mention some key languages that is needed, that is most popular in the fintech space. For front
Okay.
end, right, I'll use software. For front end, React, Angular are the key for JavaScript, right? And a bit
Okay.
around, yes. So for back end, of course, Node, of course, Java, .NET a bit, and then a bit around Python, but Python is still coming up. And then Golang. There was a time where Golang, till now, I find difficult to get people from Golang. There are very few. There are not much of them in Nigeria.
The truth is in Nigeria, the Golang is not really, it's not a thing yet, as I can say. It's not really a thing yet because most people have not really seen what or the, let me say, the benefits of
Application
using it
of Golang.
currently from even from these tech events that we posted. I think
Yes,
two or three of our guests have talked about Golang, especially in
true.
terms of that
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
in DevOps. So I think with this now, I believe most people would try to look towards the angle of Golang and see
Um,
if we can actually. I don't know how big the community is, because one thing as
it is a very
developers we
small
also look at
community.
where we are learning any programming technology. We look at the
Okay.
community. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear
Can you
you.
hear
Can
me?
you hear me? Yes, I
Yes.
can. Okay. Why is this thing not... Hi, guys. Okay.
Okay. It seems it's my network.
No, no issues. No issues.
Okay, but you know,
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
okay. Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you too.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So, what I was saying is this. You know, I was talking about Golang. Even me
Okay.
as a senior software engineer, I've not is before you go into the community.
True. True.
Whenever you run into any issues, you should have a community you can talk to. You
I will
understand?
back you and give you certain solutions to it. Of
Uh,
course. Of course.
so that is the major reason. But as as it has been exposed on this event, I think from now on, I think we are going to look into it and encourage more people to go into Golang. You know, the major language that is very, very loud is Python. And the reason why Python is
Used
loud is
across data science, used across different spheres.
multi-purpose programming language, because it
Exactly.
can be used board. You understand? So I
True.
believe so.
True. 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 Okay, so that's a bit around the trendy languages that we most companies are looking out for. Of course, don't limit in Android where you have Kotlin, Java, React Native, right? That's talking about the mobile development, right?
Flutter.
So these are also very very important, right? So back to what I was saying. So there are a lot of places where we've yet to cover, and a lot of people are still going into JavaScript. JavaScript, of course, is very important. Going into the ones where there's a lot of competition, which is good. But when there's a lot of competitions, are you ready to be able to pay a price of seeking knowledge, or going with the idea of I want to know this thing so well that I'm the best at what I do? This is a very important point of what I'll take. For instance, I'm a recruiter, right? I have been in this space for almost 7 years, right? Almost 7 years now. I did not, yes, Mr. Destiny knows me. I used to I am still a tech person at heart, and I love tech, right? And then in school I still coded, but I went to equipment where I had the plan of helping people and being able to build people, right? So I have there's a community of more than 1,000 or 3,000, 2,000 recruiters that I have at hand, that I know. I'm in that community. But the truth is, out of those guys, there's still need for recruiters. There's still need for top recruiters. I could mention a lot of on my LinkedIn, a lot of people sending me proposals. Oh, will you be able to join? Will you want to do this? Because I built, I try to build myself so well at what I do and look out for these places where people are not going into. Take for instance, if you go to the fintech, if you go to on LinkedIn now, you see a lot of people saying I'm a tech recruiter. You see it a lot of people, even people that don't know anything about tech, people that will tell you, oh, what is so I saw someone called C sharp C hashtag, right? And was asking me what kind of language is it, and is a top tech recruiter, and and is and is looking to, right. I am very good in tech recruitment, but I do not limit myself because I know a lot of people are looking for tech recruitment. I went into another space of recruitment, strategic recruitment, where people find it difficult to do, and I solve it, and it made what I do very, very hard. In fact, I went on leave, and on my leave, they were begging me, please cut it to 2 days because there is fire on the mountain. Right? Why? Because I went to the place of recruitment where it's too difficult, and I cracked it. Right? It makes it easier. You cannot go to recruitment and say, oh, I'm a strategic sales recruiter. And the kind of strategic sales recruitment I do is that I get people from my competitors, I get people from all spaces of the world. If you need me to, I have contacts around there and I've built myself around there. So back to tech. If you are in tech and I just want to compete with people, it's going to take a longer time. But you can also crack areas where people are afraid to go into. Just like I mentioned Golang. There are a lot of people are afraid to go into Golang. There are a lot of people that cannot actually be good at DevOps and Kubernetes. We don't have enough cloud people. We don't have enough top data scientists in Nigeria. And we're supposed to be export. And we have foreign people coming in looking for some of these guys. If the guys that are mid-level, but we're all choked up, we want to be a Node.js developer, and we are just there. So this is another area we also look into. The second area, before I jump in, we are not done with the employability, like I mentioned. Sorry, I'm diving because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to do. I'm very sorry.
As long as you have time for us, you have to, because this thing is very, very interesting already. Because for me, even for me as a senior software engineer, there are a lot of things I'm actually learning from this right now. I can tell you. You understand? So it's very, very interesting. You can continue in what you're actually saying. Though after this, I think there's a question that is in my mind about. Just want you to finish what you're saying.
Okay, so let me just keep a point on employability. First is professional profile. Second is acceptability. That's being able to do so well to be able to be accepted to that firm if your professional profile is good enough. So I mentioned live coding. You also have to need to have soft skills like presentation skills, communication skills. You need to be able to communicate what you do. In as much as you're a tech person, you need to be able to sell yourself well. Is important for recruiters, and you need to be able to have the can-do mindset. You also, aside from they also testing your creativity, you have to be able to think at the spot. Someone was asking me something today. Oh, promise I don't need to hire from this way. What do I do? I said, that means don't hire from the company you worked before and the next company. He said, oh, promise you can think by the spot. That was one of our management team. And we're able to think by the spot and give that person a solution. So we should be able to think at the spot, right? These are some of the things they look out for. Because the truth is, they cannot necessarily gauge all what you can do, but you should be able to sell yourself well and have a proper professional profile. That's one. Of course, you is expected. Of course, tech um, might not be key in terms of qualification by se, but for corporate organization, they need you to have at least a BSc HND to be able to, do tech. So it's important to also, go to school and have that. In some
Okay.
firms, if you are freelancing, they don't need that. We are going to talk about freelancing. They may not need that. But for corporate firm, you want to work in a bank, right? Except they want to make they take you in as a contract staff and have you just do a project for them. But to be able to employ you full time, they have criteria, and it might mean, oh, have your BSc or have your HND at least before you come into work for us. I don't know if I've made that. That's for employability. Then
Okay.
next thing I would like to discuss, I talked about employability, I talked about qualification, I talked about diversities of tech programs. That is not just um um software engineering. I want to talk about another area. So I am done with tech. I have learned tech. What next should I do? Mr. Promise has said that they are looking for top people that can do the job. So does it mean I should just wait on my bed and wait for when I can do the job? No, those people started somewhere. I know you've met a lot of tech guys before now, and they've told you their stories. So you can start somewhere. I want to mention some of the things you can do. One is internship, which are so some companies might not give you outright internship, but foreign companies, a lot of firms have put some things in place to ensure that you are doing something and you can put it on your CV. One is what we call virtual internship. Most of us have heard of Zuri and HNG, right? I don't know, might have heard of it. Zuri
Yeah.
HNG. What's his name? My former, I've worked briefly with him before I went for service. That's what's his name? Marquesian, Hotels Orange guy. Marquesian, right? Set up that process where you have to do internship program for what you've learned. That's one. There's another platform like forage.com, formerly called Inside Shepherd. Forage.com,
Fura-
Tech Dev, Forage.com,
Furaji.
Forage, formerly called Inside Shepherd. Yes. A place where you can do a virtual internship program, right? Another one, off the top of my head, Andela also have a platform like that. There's one called virtual internship. I think there's one called virtualinternship.com. These are some of the places you do virtual internship. That's for virtual internship side of it.
Okay.
Another side of it is networking. Networking. Build a perfect network on LinkedIn. Be very active on LinkedIn, right? Go and liaise with senior developers on LinkedIn. Don't sit one place and be thinking, oh, most of the job I do, I've gotten it through LinkedIn. Liaise with senior developer. Oh, Baba, you're senior developer for Money Point. You're senior developer for OPay. You're senior developer for this. Oh, if you reach out to 10 people, one person will listen to you. Oh, boss, is there any side project I can be part of? I will do it pro bono for you. What does it give you? It gives you exposure, it gives you experience, you can add it to your CV. If you are talking about that project, you say, I am part of this project that develop this. I add it to your CV.
Of course.
That's how you build your personal profile. Also, attend tech summits. Tech summit is very important for some that could go. Network with people, collaborate. Forage is forage.com. Yes, forage.ge. Inside Shepherd, formerly called Inside Shepherd. Yes, Forage. Right.
Okay.
Um, Another thing I've learned so far is one of the best ways to learn is to go with people. Sorry, they're taking my light. You guys should manage my voice a bit though.
Sorry.
Apologies, right? I,
No,
I I don't know how I will not. I have to leave here to go and switch on my gem, but I don't want to. I'm not sure this. Okay, so another area where I would mention is collaboration, right? The fastest way to learn is to collaborate with your guys. There are people that are like you, right? So after you've met these senior guys, they don't have time. Trust me, most of these top guys, they don't have time. I can tell very well that Mr. Destin does not have time. He's having time now to talk to you. If he has a lot of projects, doesn't have your time. But you meet them and offer something like this to them, they are ready for you to take up some things from their hands. If they know they are good and guide you on how to do it, right? So, but they don't have time to come and teach you and be hand holding you. So, layers with your guys. The more this person is when this person is networking, you're networking, you guys collaborate and you grow. And as you're collaborating, you're seeing opportunities. Oh, there's a company called Carbon. It's a fintech company. They're into lending. They give opportunity. They give internship opportunities for data scientists and software engineers too. I think I would
cab-
confirm. Carbon.com, yes. Carbon. They pay after they've gone to school, they train this. And there's also a lot of foreign sites as well, foreign places, foreign companies as well that gives opportunities. So when you collaborate with people like you, right, you get to hear this person is hearing from here, this person is hearing from here, right? You guys liars. And when you're getting this kind of what's it called now? This kind of sorry, what's the word now? Projects from senior dev guys, it's helping you to grow. So you don't sit down and say, oh, I've built my professional profile, I've learned this thing. The moment you leave it, moment it lifts you most times. If you leave it, it lifts you until you come back to it again. So you have to also be in the spirit. That's why we have a community of people. Community is not just to come there and shout, I'm a tech bro, I'm a tech guy. And there's this thing about them. You wear shirt in I went to Yaba last time. You say they wear short knicker. Know how those tech guys will put earphone, come in and start talking about languages they don't know about,
Of course.
right? Or
Look
good
for workshop
and we for
cross,
and
uh,
Crocs, my brother, you know them. You for Crocs
probably
and
one this glass, this what is it called? This glass they used to wear.
right, you Ray-Ban or which one? The dark rimmed ones, Abi. And
Exactly.
the essence is to show you that I have
Go
arrived. Papa, people that have arrived want to arrive more. People that
yeah.
have gone far are looking to go further. So the moment you are in, strive for growth. I've never seen a year where I wake up and the next thing I'm not thinking is how do I grow? If I'm in a place where I'm not growing, I'm not comfortable. I don't if I'm in a place, if I stay in a company for a year and I've not grown, I'm not comfortable. When I'm not growing in money, I need to make money and not growing in experience. But for tech guys, you need to be able to build capacity to be able to further off. So that's the essence of why most of these things are. So for the people that say, "Oh, I've learned tech," what's the next step? Right? Virtual internship, networking, tech summit, and collaboration is what I would. And of course, apply, build a personal profile, and apply for those jobs. And like I mentioned something last time, go to sites like Algo Expert, Lead Code, HackerRank, start solving simple algorithmic solutions on the language you've learned. Those sites are the sites that are similar to the sites they used to do, what's it called? Live coding sessions.
Can you come
HackerRank,
again with Kara? I go
HackerRank,
at
Algo
uh-huh.
Expert, Lead Code.
Lead code.
Lead Code, yes.
Okay. So can continue.
Yeah, these are some of the sites where you go to ensure that this thing I learned, I can apply it. And trust me, also be open to there are a lot of grants, there are a lot of opportunities for people that are new to tech and their experience in tech, even to travel abroad. We also come down to that briefly on this call. Right. So these are some of the things. The next step we'd also look into is freelancing, right? Freelancing is an opportunity for us to also do what we do on short time and on short time and also as it progresses. Top freelance sites, of course, we know of Upwork, we know of Turing.com. So coincidentally, there's a freelance company in Nigeria called TerraWork. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes, I've heard of it before.
Yes. So I was opportuned to head the talent and build, but I worked as a consultant for them because I also working for other firms for TerraWork. The entire talent team in TerraWork currently, I built the process and I started it. In fact, the CEO was talking to me yesterday for something important. The owner of the company, he was there in my wedding. I met him last. So at most things, even though I've left him as a consultant, he always calls me for a lot of things because I had a lot of things to do. I left my consult as a consultant. So TerraWork is another place where you could also, opportunities where you can also develop your skills, right? Or show. They have one particular thing they do. They call it promo promo code. So you can do something, you cut what you can do, the normal market price to by half and put it out there. look out for companies to be able to use your skill at a cheaper rate. So what it makes for you is that it makes you be able to be engaged in actual things that you do, right? So freelancing, if you want to start freelancing on Terra work, easy. You can also reach out to me. I would direct you to the guy. I'm friends with pretty much their head of marketing, their owner, the head of marketing will set you up, their current talent team. In fact, like I said, I set up the whole entire process for Terra Work in terms of their talent acquisition, talent testing, talent team, and also their recruitment process. I set it up for them and also help them when they were doing their OKR. Because funny thing, they are also sponsored by Google. So they went to what we call Google Royal Academy. They are part of guys that Google sponsors briefly. So before Google sponsors you, they have to develop what we call an OKR. I was part of people that developed their OKR at the time that is submitted to Google. So it's a platform I know very well. But aside from TerraWork, of course, the hired platform like Turing, Upwork, and the likes. Right? What's it called now? Fiverr. But Upwork is more in tune to tech than Fiverr. Fiverr is more broad, like the what's it called now? Graphic design, this. Fiverr does that. Fiverr
Yeah.
does that. So freelancing is another side that would also, engage, right? Um Another area I wanted to go into, sorry, I'm looking to get light to be able to see this before I, take on questions and take on most of the question I want to ask is, give me a minute. Okay. Um, Hold on. So I had to use my touch. Um, so for the guys that are top tech guys or aspiring tech guys, they also want to work abroad. So the thing is, at every point you are be doing something. An opportunity you see, there's this very trendy funny thing that they say that even Miss TV comedy, but by the wire I dey do I dey wire light, right? I dey do right. I dey do Do you understand what I mean? Have that mindset. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
software editor.
so I dey do baba, I am doing it. So to put yourself out there, have that mindset, right? So go online, go on ChatGPT. Bro, ChatGPT is a game changer. It has helped me a lot of things. You can code, you can build your full website in 30 minutes on ChatGPT. If you know what to do, it will build it
Yes, of
for you as fast as possible. So don't think you have to know all the codes in the world. Just be smart and be creative and understand how to apply and know. That's why it's also good that we also go back to. So there's a thing with most tech guys. You studied Igbo linguistics, you're going into tech. You're going to tech because you want to. I'm not saying it's not a good thing to go into tech. You're going to tech with the idea that make I learn this thing fast, make I make money where they say the inside tech. Yes, there's money in tech, no doubt. But you don't want to understand the basics. Every programming language follows a particular syntax that is similar. There will be a control structure. There will be for OOPs, there will be class, there will be methods, there will be different things that are similar, just that the syntax are a bit different. But when you
course.
understand the basic algorithm, you can be able to learn that. I have a friend, you might know him. He's a senior dev. He's one of the top devs in .NET. He went back to learn Java. He could learn it in 6 months. I was building top this thing in Java because he understands the syntax. He's building like someone have learned Java for 5 years. So let us go back to learn the base. Let me know is let us go back to C and C++. I understand there's this people called ALX. You guys might know about ALX, right? At a point, you might know of ALX. Yeah, they used to do free training, but they do not have they have the right mindset, but they don't have. I feel they're still lacking in some behind because a lot of people just go in there without coming out for what they want to do. They start you with C. Need to understand as far as C. Not just that I see Python. Python says this plus this equals to this, and it is simple now. Do you understand what I mean? So as you need to have that mindset to go back to the core algorithm, to come with, I want to learn this to solve a problem. I want to be able to solve a problem, not just I want to make money. See, in
Yes.
most cases, if I'm doing recruitment, it's like give me, because I want to be able to crack it. I recruited in Vietnam. I'm being very, very, very open to you guys. It was one of the toughest I did, but I'm very proud that I recruited in Vietnam. I did in Luxembourg. I could get people I interviewed, I got in Luxembourg. Yes, tech guys to be precise. And I have the pride of saying it now because when I was told to do it, I did not say, how I want to do am. I beg. Because I want to challenge myself. One of the reasons why I also mention collaboration is you have to be competitive. It's a competitive world. Nobody is waiting for you. And that's why you have to be with people that will challenge you at every point. I'm sorry, there are some people where I used to stay before. I left them. I'm no longer their friends because I only meet them once in a while. When I know I want to clear my head and drink, I'll just go and meet them. But when I want to think serious business, there are people I meet. When I see their range and I see their Lexus GS, I say, Baba, how you take get this level where you get? What do I need to do? How long do I need to do it? I'm not saying illegally, oh, sorry, because you guys will count me wrong. But I'm using this to bring, using this to bring out something from us as people. Tech can be one of the highest, it's currently a biggest sport in Nigeria, but they are limiting us. They are
Yeah.
limiting us because there are very few of us that know what we know. So we need to be able to be tech people that know what we know, and it will help us see. It's not just for the work you're getting now; it's work you're going to get in the next 5 years, and also follow the trend. Follow the trend. It's important to follow the trend. You know where each programming language format is coming out. Know the newest technology. Know the easiest thing that helps you to grow each. That's why we go to summit. That's why we collaborate with people. That's why we network. It's important. Then back to the ones I mentioned, we also have sites like Technation, right? For senior dev or people that even aspire. They give global internship this thing for tech guys, digital marketers, technician. Yes, you can check technician out. Crossover, right? My help crossover. There's even one that helped my friends. My friend is currently in Canada, also helped him as well. So tech is a biggest sport for Nigeria. They are taking our top guys out. There's a guy I met in, Christopher, Chris. I met him through Chris. He built one of the key guys that built a lot for Wema Bank. He no dey Nigeria again. Him and him dey and he went to go and engage a tech girl too because they have to be speaking the same language. He no want to engage one body so that he no be talking tech. The body will telling him
Uh,
telling
again.
him I'm talking about hair. You are telling me Python. Is it Obosi Python? Is it the Python in Njaba, local government of Imo State, right? That is not. You need to also be people that speak your language. It's very important. He's currently in
Yeah.
Netherlands. Netherlands is one of the toughest countries to go into. So they need top. UK does it. They are taking our top guys. But are you a top guy? Have you asked yourself? Are you really a top guy out there? For me, I want to be a top guy. And one of the reasons why, even if I want to go into tech, I would not want to go into software engineering because I know people they have gone far. I'm not sure I can meet them. And I'm sure I can develop the time to be able to meet them. So I was thinking maybe I'll go and do QA, start from QA. QA is another area. You start from manual QA down to using Selenium and Postman and some of this, and you go far. Top QA guys earning dollars. Yes, and they're also top exports for Nigeria. Right? It's important for us to note this. Of course, we want to be employed across tech, right? Aside from tech, for you to be employed, one, start soon. If you are just finishing school, maybe you're starting, have that mindset, oh, I want to get employment. Uh, Lagos is a very open place, right? Build your professional profile, tailor your CV, right? Add all the experiences, even if it's promote, add it, start. Maybe I will share one. series template with testing after this. Then your professional profile on LinkedIn, please. Come on, look out for top tech guys. And all the things you did in tech, let it be broad. Then the firm you've mentioned, if you not mind work with outer firm, the internship you've done, the places you've worked, and be ready. If you've worked on a project with someone pro bono, what I mean pro bono, I mean even if
Yeah.
for free to learn, add it. For provisions, you add it on LinkedIn. It makes you look at you, okay, okay, let me engage. People reach out to people on LinkedIn. Like I said, I get a lot of them, a lot of what's it called now? Requests. Oh, I source for people on LinkedIn. Before I source for you on LinkedIn, I'll check your profile. What have you done? Oh, this person looks like what I want. I will send you a message and I'll send you an email. I'll send you a connection. That's why I get people. I might post on job and I see 3,000 applications. I'm not checking the applications. Okay, 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 okay. If you don't make sense, I've seen 3,000 applications as only 5 people that are good that I can assess. Because Nigerians, for the same application, you see someone that is doing cassava plantation, applying for senior software dev for Golang, and it's you know how fun it is. And giving it as work, right? So I myself, I'll go and look out for you. It's called passive applicants. I'll look out for you in companies, top companies, to get you to bring on board. That's how my work, also my own KPI as a recruiter grows. So it means that if you have a professional profile, I want to view your profile. And you're also reaching out to a top dev or a top person in LinkedIn, and your profile is very wrong. That person will not give you audience. When your profile is good, the person wants to, okay, who is this person? Guy, I am doing this, I'm going into this. Have a way of approaching that person. Can I get your number on WhatsApp? Do you have any project you're working on? Can I be part of that project you're working on? Can I do the simple things? The moment you go on LinkedIn and on your CV and add those projects you've done, it attracts me to want to call you. So even outside tech, that's the same thing, right? There's a lot of is a lot of session when it comes to also building your professional profile outside tech as well. It's another session on its own. But today let's focus a bit on. So I've mentioned a lot of things, and I hope I'm now open for questions. Let me just give a pause here and open for any questions as well.
Okay, thank you very much. I think most of the things you said already, they've answered most of the questions I even they were like, if I'm to
Okay.
summarize the whole thing you said, because for me, based on experience with people, there are a lot of young guys that are coming into tech that are actually coming because of,
The wrong
yeah,
mindset.
they come, okay, maybe, they always say tech is the new oil money. So,
Exactly. Is any oil
okay,
money?
so now those kind of people, they will get to a particular stage in it where they see that, okay, maybe they are not making enough money that they tended to make. They tend to
They
deviate
go
or
off.
possibly go off totally from it. You understand? So like for a new person that has not been into tech before, that is looking towards taking any tech,
A
yes.
step into things.
So now, what will be maybe your advice, or what are the things that the person should watch out for instead of watching out for only the benefits? What are the other things that the person can watch out for or mind when going into it?
Okay. I'll just answer with few points. The first thing is, right, tech is not just coding, right? There are different areas into tech. So the first thing is, why do I want to go into tech? Money is a good thing. I want to go into tech because I want to have a sustainable future. It's a good reason. Don't get me wrong, right? We also know that tech is an investment. It's an investment. An investment does not just yield immediately. It takes a bit of time. So take for instance, okay, have that's what you need to have mentors. I'm not very good in mathematics and logic. There's no need to go into software engineering. I'm sorry, right? I'm a very, very, very detailed person, right? I can want to go into QA. Okay, I like some settings. I can want to go into this particular part. Okay, I can want to go into cybersecurity. Right. That is one. When you are ready to making a choice of what you want to go into, give it 2 years. I'll bring down those 2 years for
Okay.
you. 6 months for active learning, meaning that I always advise people have something at the side you're doing that's giving you small, small money to chop while you are investing yourself in tech. I'm not saying go and be focusing on mom. Maybe you are working as a virtual assistant, working as a customer service person. Virtual assistant now is a big deal. They can pay you some money working remotely. I make out your time that at night I want to be learning. You identify a school like Programmer City. I want to go and learn tech. And you go in. You have a community, they build, they start from grade one and they build you in 6 months for learning. After learning, that's one. The next thing is what? You start looking out for internship programs. Programming will help internship programs. Okay, where do I do? Start building your professional profile. Start building. Remember, some of the things, some of the projects you've done in programming, don't think it's just you just do that project with programming. It's part of what you add on your CV that you've done, or your LinkedIn that you've done, or your GitHub that you've done. Right? The second is build your professional profile. After build a professional profile, remember it's still an investment in that should be done in the second 6 months, right? Build a professional profile, complete virtual internship programs, and network with what? Top people in that field to say, can I do a project pro bono? Remember, you are doing virtual internship. This is like 9 months to 1 year. If you're done this in 9 months to 1 year, you can get virtual internship opportunities in corporate organizations. If not actual employment as a junior QA, as a junior dev, you can. But don't beat it too much. Let's just say you did not, right? Let's just say what? You did not. Keep building your professional profile, keep working on your network, and then start freelancing, doing small, small freelance projects on Turing, build your portfolio on Turing, on TerraWork, on this place, and be sending the message. I want to have a project I'm doing. I don't mind doing it pro bono. I don't mind. I want to engage myself. You're engaging yourself, you're networking, you're meeting people. Some people you're engaging with are CEOs, some are engineering managers, some are this. Trust me, if you consistently, you don't even need a recruiter, you don't need to apply to a job to have an opportunity. You will. But at the time, you're also applying a job. You don't put your egg in one basket. You're applying for jobs. You're applying for jobs that are meet your criteria. Junior dev. And remember, as you're doing this, you're building yourself. If you're a software engineer, like I mentioned, hacker rank, algo expert, you're building yourself, preparing yourself for the opportunity to come. I'm giving 1 year, and this is like 1 year, 6 months. This is my investment. Let that be like my investment while I'm doing something by the side to sustain myself. And before 2 years, trust me, you have your first big break. It might be 300,000, it might be 250,000, it might be 200,000, but it's a start. Do it consistently for 6 months. You have opportunity. Once you have a network to do a side thing, no top sales guy is and tech guy does one job. I can beat my chest and tell you, there's a lot of them. Remember, consistency and being good at what you do. You are building. You are building. Before 2 years, after that, you've gotten your junior dev job. You're doing side job. This one is paying you 300. This one is paying you 100. This one is paying. Because trust me, even if they start you with 200, you can still start. Some might even start you 180. You can still start at that first 1.5 years to 2 years. But after 2 years, then you start building yourself. You built your profile, you've done certain things. You start billing. You start asking. You start asking interviews. Now you can talk in interviews. Now, remember, and you're also building your soft skills, presentation skills, communication skills, of course, life coding skills. The more you work, the more you get better. The more you sharpen your brain, the more you're creative. Then from 2 years, you do what? You 2 years, you go to your second big break. That can be 300, can be 400, and you work there and you start getting different side gigs. Now you can call yourself, I'm getting a proper junior developer down to a developer that's going above junior. You see how the progression is working. So if you bring anyone that's deviated, I told you there's an issue, I can point out where they missed it in some of these things I mentioned. And of course, there's a God factor. I'm also a very religious. I'm not say religious. I'm a Christian, right? So I believe a lot around God's factor. But God rewards our effort. I believe a lot on our effort. We cannot sleep and we go on 40 days fasting and prayer without having something.
And
The woman in the Bible, so I'm going to interpret. The woman in the Bible, they asked her, "What do you have?" She had oil. It's not how if she not have anything, what would they multiply? Right? I'm sorry if in your own religion you can also do this. So this is the steps you can take. So you have to beat your hand and say, I want to do this, and you go deep to it, right? Put your mind to it. Then you will make the money. In 3 years, 4 years, you make that big money you're looking for. But are you ready to give what it takes? Thank you. I don't know if I've answered
yes,
your
yes,
question.
you answered it very, very well. Thank you very much. So, like I wanted to say, summary of everything you've been talking about. Okay, for people that are just joining, okay, we're talking about how you can, make yourself useful in the field of tech. Okay, tech in the corporate world and how you can set yourself apart. Okay, so you talk about the setting some accessibility criteria because accessibility criteria rather because as a tech person you have to
Yes.
be acceptable and some of these criteria have to do with building your personal profile, knowing what you know how to do by creating things like your portfolios where they can see your the skills that you have, right? Then also qualification. You talked about qualification. That qualification is actually something very very necessary to even have skills.
Give you access to the corporate world.
Uh, can you hear me?
I said it gives you access to the
Yes.
corporate world.
Uh,
Yes.
so
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to ask a question relating to that, but let me just finish the summary. Then you also talked about internship. For anybody that is, going into any field at all, should try to do internship, even if they are pro bono. That is, if they are free internship, as long as you use it to acquire the right level of skills that you're supposed to acquire. Okay. Then you talk about networking to try to network. That is, build yourself around a community of people that do that same thing that you do. Okay. So in summary, that is everything you've been talking about. And these are the things that as a tech person, if you're watching, these are the things that you need to know and you need to do. Okay. Right from the first day, we said when you are into tech, you should see tech as problem solving. Okay. So if you've not started solving problems, you're not yet into tech. You can just, be playing around with it. But as long as you can't solve a problem using a particular skill in tech, you're not yet into tech. So if you're coming into tech for the first time, you should have that in mind that you're coming in to solve a problem. Now, it's not just Mr. Promise that is with us now that said it. I think two or three of our guests that we have in the previous section have also said this, that you must be ready to solve a problem if you're coming into tech. Then another thing again we also address today now is if you're coming into tech, you should not, it's good to aspire to be somebody or to acquire a lot of wealth because when we say tech is all your money, you can have that at the back of your mind that, okay, you're coming to tech to make money, to earn a good living for yourself. It's good to have that aspiration, but also you shouldn't limit yourself to a particular time frame because even though like Mr. Promise used 2 years as an example, now there are some people that might need more than that 2 years to acquire the right skill that they need to excel. Why there are some people that might less than that 2 years. It
Yes.
depending on your effort, the effort you put into it, and the fields you are going into. You understand? That is why one of these session also, we I think the first day when we started this program, we said something about knowing what you have passion for, because that can also be a driving force that will help you to get what you are aspiring to get in the right amount of time. Because there are a lot of people that will come into it because maybe a friend, they can just say, this my friend is into this particular tech
Egg.
field, and since he's into it, they are making a lot of money. So because of that now, or maybe it might not even be money. Understand? They can be other several factors that uh, entices most of these young people, or might not really be young people. Most of these people that wants to come into tech now, those things, when they come in and they don't see those things, they now have problem with this maybe that particular field. I've seen a lot of them from experience, a lot of them. So it is very, very good. You set a limit and an expectation for yourself for what we've said generally so far. Good, you set an expectation for yourself. But that expectation you're setting for yourself, you should also work towards achieving that expectation. And you should also know that it's not easy, because there are going to be some difficulties that you face. Like, for instance, from my experience as a trainer, there are a lot of people that will train, especially when it comes to JavaScript. You know, when they write some codes and maybe they have an error, maybe the web browser might just go black, they'll bring it to you that this thing is not showing me, without even checking to go and look at.
What?
Some of them that will see those errors, now they will not bother to read what the error is all about. You understand? So I'm just using that scenario, that example now, okay, as from software context. But there are a lot of people like that in other tech field that they most of the issues, or most of the things that the challenges they will face in that particular tech field, they would not really make proper plan about, okay, because we talked about research. You have to first of all research that field. After thinking about your level of enthusiasm or what you can do, make research. What are the things, what are the challenges I will face in that particular field? Now, if you have those challenges at the back of your mind, okay, I might face these challenges. So when they come, you know that, okay, there are things you're already expecting. Okay, so what you do is, okay, how can I overcome this? Because the more you solve problems, the better you become in the tech field. Okay, so these
Sure.
are the things that you, as a tech person, someone coming into tech, these are the things that you must first of all know. So it's not just this. It's not just I want to go into this. Okay. So thank you very much, Mr. Promise Ambrose, for your time.
Thank you for
We
the
appreciate you.
opportunity. Thank you.
We've learned a lot. I myself have learned a lot of things from this section today. Okay. Thank you, and we really appreciate you. It's a privilege having you here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks everybody. And please we'll talk. Take care. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Hello, Promise.
So,
Sorry I joined late. Nice to meet you.
Baba Chumsobo,
It's
it's been
been
a
a
while.
while.
Though. I'm happy to see you, sir.
It's been a while. Please,
I'm happy. Sorry, my light
people should
went off,
forgive me.
sir.
I got held up on traffic, so I went to pick up my children. So
No
I
uh,
issues,
apologize
no
big time.
issues, no issues, no issues, Baba.
uh,
But so, Chisholm, I'll
No
liaise with
problem.
you again. I will
Awesome,
reach out
awesome,
to
no
you.
problem.
All right. Thanks,
okay,
Mr.
okay,
Destiny. Thank you. Bye
yeah.
bye.
So,
Good day.
if you are joining us. We also have a big name in the house right now. Somebody that I look up to. You know, I have a lot of mentors, even though I'm a senior developer in the game. I'm a senior engineer. There are some people, you know, we commonly say in Nigeria, an oga gets another oga. You understand? So all these people are my boss, and this is somebody I love so much, somebody that have helped me over the years, okay, and me being someone I am today, you know, there are a lot of places, a lot of people you must have encountered. Like Promise was saying during his sections, talking about networking, meeting people, because these people are the people that will build you to become whoever you want to be. Okay, apart from your personal
True.
effort, this networking, meeting people that are also very, very enthusiastic about what you do. Okay, these are people that will build you to be the person you want to be in that career. And this person in question that just joined us now is one of those people that actually I look up to when I was starting my career as a software developer. And it's no other person than a senior developer in Lagos, Zen not from Lagos. It's no other person than Mr. Chiso DK. You're welcome very much. Sorry for the long introduction because it's actually
No
a
problem.
privilege having you here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Destiny. Thank you for the privilege to join you guys. Thank you so much. And I
Uh,
apologize once again for joining you guys very late. My bad. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
okay. No problem. Now, Mr. I promise I've actually done a lot of justice to what we are set to discuss today. Okay, we've been talking about employability, employability as a tech person, because this program is all setting the pace or maybe creating that avenue for young people that are or that wants to come into tech to be able to, you know, navigate their way through excel in various tech fields. Okay. Now, since we started the
Okay.
program with different techs, we've talked about DevOps engineering, we talked about software engineering, we talked about UI UX, we talked about a lot of other stuff. Okay, but today we are talking about employability. So it's not about coming into the tech now and
Okay.
learning the skills. You have to be employable. You understand? So we want to know your point of view, okay, from your experience so far. What are the things that someone needs to know? Okay, adding to what Promise have told us already. Okay, so you can still tell us from your own perspective what are the things that someone needs to know, or what are the things that someone needs to have as a tech expert to be able to excel in the tech world.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Destiny. Um, Sorry, just a minute. Please. Just a minute.
Okay, so if you are just joining us, if you have any questions, you can simply type your questions. You can type your questions in the comment section. Okay. So I don't know if you, Mr. Chisom, if you, I don't know if you're talking to us. We can't hear you.
Sorry, please. Please. Sorry, please. Okay, sorry, Mr. Destiny. I'm sorry about that. Just a call from your net or sort out something. Okay, so first of all, I really don't know the part that um, my brother played there on, but I heard you talk about the networking aspect, which is very vital. But before that part, I think you need to first of all build a strong portfolio. And for you to be able to build a strong portfolio, the first thing that you need to consider is are there any um, things that you have done, real life work? For instance, when you come to the aspect of a developer, are there real world applications that you've built? Do you understand? You have code samples. Or when you talk about the DevOps aspect, are there certain works that you've done? These things can help you build a strong portfolio. And with this, it becomes easier for people to actually see what you've done. Then the second aspect I need to talk about is I've noticed that in the tech space, a lot of people want to do a lot of things, and that is not good. So it's always good that when you go into tech, try and specialize. You need to become an authority in a particular aspect. For instance, now, if I come into development as a software engineer, when I started as a full stack. From full stack, I went front end. From there, I went straight to mobile. So I had to specialize. Now, when it comes to places like digital marketing, you can, instead of you trying to become a social media manager, a search engine optimization expert, and different kind of thing, just look for a particular place, specialize. When people notice that you are an authority in a particular place, it will enable you command higher rates. Then it will also enable you position yourself as an expert. Then it will also help you. You start building deeper knowledge in those particular areas. So this now makes it easier for people to even notice you. So when they have a major issue they want to solve in that particular area, they know that you are the person to go out for. Then from there, you can start building good online presence. Now, this online presence, there are several ways you can build it. One of them is through LinkedIn. You can build a good LinkedIn profile, and then consistently you post some articles. But I'll be honest with you, I've not really been consistent with posting an article, but I think at some point LinkedIn gave me privilege to start posting, not just so to write certain articles on LinkedIn. So these things started getting me present. So before you know it, companies began to reach out to me. So I've had the privilege to work with companies like Andela. They all noticed me on LinkedIn. Decagon, they all noticed me on LinkedIn, and some other companies. So building an online presence goes a long way. You can as well develop a personal website. This can tell people more about you. Like I said earlier on, you need to specialize. But when you specialize, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't know how to do other things. Do you understand? So the fact that I'm a mobile developer does not mean that I'm not good in web development. Does not mean that I'm not good in backend development. Does not mean that when it comes to cloud, I don't know what to do. Even down to digital marketing, I'm a good search engine uh, uh, um, search engine
So,
optimizer. So, but there is something I'm known for, and as I'm known for this thing, I build a presence based on this. Now, when I now have a website that you can locate me through this website, you see other things that I'm good at. Another way is by through social media. But I'll be honest with you, this is one thing that I don't know about most developers. This is the part that I know that I have not been very consistent with. But as of this year, I ensure to become very consistent in it. So as you begin to specialize, begin to find. So apart from the 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 particular the particular aspect of tech you want to go into, find out the particular aspect of the industry you want to go into. For instance, some people want to specialize in cryptocurrency. So you see people talking about blockchain, so they focus on blockchain. You find out some people now they are going into AI. You know, just find a particular industry, move into that place. And just like I had you talk about Ambrose Promise talking about networking is key. You have to learn to network. You have to learn to network because it will help link you up. and then start developing very good soft skills. Now, this is one aspect that companies don't joke with. If you are going into the tech world, remember everything is not about development, everything is not about programming. Tech is large and massive. Some are um, um, people that are into sales and tech, and you need to be very good at communication. You need to also be someone who learns how to set clear expectations. So you will have project timelines, because most of the times you find out that people are having challenges with completing most of their projects. No, if you want to stand out and they are moving into tech, you want to be recognized online, you need to be someone that when people are talking about you, they know that yes, this person meets up with his deadlines. And from there, you can start building, like I told you earlier on, you can start building um, your portfolio as we spoke earlier on. So from there, learning, consistent learning, because in the tech world, if you don't learn, you will get phased out. Consistently, you are learning. So as stuffs are coming up, you are learning. For instance, now AI is out here. So if you are someone that say, I'm not interested in AI and all that, AI is going into different aspects of our businesses. It's going into different aspects of our lives. And if as someone that is in tech, you are not looking for how to use AI to make your work better, you will be phased out with time. So yeah, there have been rumors about AI replacing people in work. It will replace those who
Okay, that
don't get.
to my mind now. So that's the question that came to my mind now because AI replace jobs. Is it
So
really true?
so this is the thing. AI can't work on its own. Somebody has to be behind the whole AI stuff. It is the people that spend time now developing themselves in order to use AI to develop their skills are the people who will be the ones still um, who will still remain in their jobs. So, for instance, now, if it would take a particular job or maybe website, let me come from that aspect, something that everybody can understand. If it will take a certain time and a number of people to get it done, with AI and one single developer who knows how to use AI, you'll be able to still get that job accomplished without. So you see how is going to phase out certain people out. So you start seeing, like for instance, Mark Zuckerberg made a statement that as of this year, 2025, they'll start phasing out software engineers from the mid-level down to the junior level who are not very effective. Trust me, those are people who don't know how to work with these tools that they're building. So this is where we now have to take out our time and begin to develop ourselves. So there is need for consistent learning. Consistent learning. You cannot stop learning. When you stop learning in the tech world, you will be phased out. Yeah.
So the message is quite clear, very very clear. The one thing I want you to talk about now is there are some of these people that want to start instead of working. Okay, they want to learn and start their own tech firm. I don't know if you get that. Like
I
I
get,
was
I
talking
get.
about aspiration. Some aspiration is own tech firm. If I learn this tech, this field, and I'm very good in it, I'll just start a firm for myself instead of working for some people. Now, what do you have to say? What do you have to advise them? Is it the right aspiration to have as someone coming into tech? And if it's the right aspiration, what are the challenges that, because definitely there will be some challenges that someone might encounter going into this.
Okay. Okay. First of all, you've known me for a long while. I'm one of those people who desire to start up something even before, I graduated from school. Yeah, which I started pushing. Then I discovered that, see, there are certain knowledge that you will not get by just studying and watching tutorials. there are certain experiences you will get when you are hands-on working for somebody else. You will now know how best to channel certain things. So, is it bad to have such aspiration? No. If you have adequate knowledge as well as resources to push for it, fine and good. But trust me, there are challenges you are going to face, which you were asking. So there are most things that you will not be privileged to be able to know until you start having hands-on. And these hands-on are best when you take out time to work for somebody. Yes. But now, as you're working for somebody, you don't have the mindset of an employee. You have the mindset of someone who wants to start up something. And then you are going there to learn in order to build. So, as I'm talking to you, I'm building something. And as of this year, by God's grace, it's going to be launched. But the truth is, before I came to this level to um, get what I'm doing to the level where it is, I had to take out time to go and learn. Yes, I had good knowledge about tech and all that back then, even before. That was what, by the grace of God, even gave me the privilege to get employed in most of the places. But I discovered there was still a lot more to learn. And then, in the process of working for somebody, you will mingle with people who have certain knowledge that you too don't have, that as you begin to work with them, you begin to learn certain things. You also begin to learn best practices of doing certain things. And these are the things that will help you. So I know that a lot of people are zealous out there to give it a try. It's not bad. You can give it a try. And I assure you, if you are zealous and you are persistent enough, maybe with time you will get through. But the best advice I'll give to you is while you are trying to try and do a couple of works for maybe one or two companies, work for a period of time. I have a friend who is the CEO of ProDevs. Um, ProDevs is responsible for hiring talent and all that. But he took some time to work as well. And now he's doing very well. He's doing very well with the knowledge that he gained building and working for another company. So the same thing, it goes around. It's always good to take out time to learn, work for somebody, understand how things are done before you jump into the market. But if you decide to go the other route, there's nothing wrong. One or two people. But trust me, out of 100%, 1% or thereabouts is what you see at the end coming out successful.
Okay. So thank you very much for that. Even for me myself, I think talking from experience, it's not actually easy starting something. You understand that? Because why I asked the question, even from most of the people I train today, some of them still have those aspirations. You understand? There are some of them that have, you know, a good level of, skills to do that. But even with the level of skills you have or the level of experience that you have, now there are still some challenges, especially if you are in Nigeria, like in this country that we are right now. There are a lot of challenges that any business will face. Okay, not just even a tech business. A lot of challenges that you face that will hinder you from thriving. Okay, so one of these challenges is, steady power supply, steady power supply. Okay, and another thing is good network, internet network. So to cut the whole story short, if anyone is aspiring to, start up something like that, the major thing you need, apart from the experience, which is very, very important, like Mr. Chisholm said, you also need a lot of finance, understand, to start up something like that. Because having steady power supply, you need, I think, for you to do good solar uh, uh, structure that can,
Yeah.
carry a business now,
Yeah.
you need nothing less than the least you can get for a business is nothing less than 3 million. Understand? And if you want to do it up
Can,
time,
can, can,
you'll be looking at maybe 5 minutes. Yes, you can come in.
can I even come in? See, I'll be honest with you. I don't know the type of business you want to do as a tech person. When we talk about finance, we're talking of good money.
Yes.
And most of those money are gotten when you take out time to work. Now, by the grace of God, you have the opportunity of working for remote companies, which most of them are foreign companies. Now, when you take time to work for this company, you can take out time to gather some resources. Within a couple of years, 3 to 5 years, you've gathered good resources to help you set up your firm, where you are not waiting and depending for an investor to enable you
Exactly.
power up. Do you understand? So, unless you are
Yes.
planning to open up a shop, that's the only way I
Yes.
can say maybe probably you can get some cash. And but trust me, if you are trying to start up a good tech stuff, it will require good knowledge, it will require experience, it will require a lot of finance. And that is where working for somebody enables you or empowers you to get all these things.
Okay. So that is just it. You've said it all. Thank you very much. I really appreciate and I appreciate your presence here. It's a privilege having you here today. And
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much. So come to the end of today's event, and I want also to thank Mr. Promise that joined us earlier. It's a privilege having you as well. I'm honored. Okay, so thank you very much, and God bless you all. Okay. So if you are just joining us, if this is the first time you're seeing this program, this is the day 5 of Start a Tech Career in 2025. So if you've missed the previous sections, you can simply check our YouTube channel to watch the previous sections where we talked about tech in general and we talk about different tech fields already. Okay. So tomorrow is the wrap. Tomorrow can just be maybe a 30 minutes wrap or at most 1 hour. So we'll talk about everything we've talked about also. Everything we talked about from the first day of the program to the last day of the program. And also we'll give final thoughts on some of all these uh, different talks that different guest speakers have actually be giving us. Okay, so that is it for today. I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, which is the final day. Thank you very much.